Hello everybody, welcome to this video. I'm going to talk about that saying, imitation is the highest form of flattery. And I think maybe the person, like I used to feel that way. I actually even have a YouTube video about that before, I think about 7 years ago. And I was like doing my best to convince myself that it was like a good thing, that people copy you and it's a good thing. I kind of, now that I've evolved a little bit more, I've grown up and I've like gotten more real with myself, I kind of see, like I see both sides. I see all the sides. I'm Gemini, so like I see it all. I see all the perspectives. And it's really whatever you identify with at the end of the day. But I can see how imitation is actually just freaking annoying. It can be very annoying. And I think the only reason it gets annoying is when people don't tell you that they inspired this. Like, it's like, that's I think where it gets under your skin. It's like people are watching you, they're silent as ever, but then they pop out doing literally the same thing that you do. And it's just, and they think that you don't notice, and it's just very interesting. And it's like, obviously the people who, like, some people would be like, no, it's just they're inspired, or maybe they happen to be doing the same thing as you. But honestly, if we're honest with ourselves, like, I think that's just a way for people to justify copying people and be like, oh, well, you know, like kind of like defer the responsibility. But if you're real, it's like, I can see how people who get copied like all the time, whatever you're doing, like that you see that person doing the same thing, whatever. Like I could see how one hand, it's inspirational, it's cool, but it's like only cool if people are like connected with you, they're talking to you, they're like, oh my God, thank you for the inspiration. When they're silent, they're not saying anything, they're just watching, and then they bust out doing the same thing. It just makes the people, like the person who inspired the thing, feel weird, because it's like it's just weird. I don't know. And some people think it's like, you know, like I said, it's kind of like a justification. Like, well, it's like everybody can have a piece of the pie. I get that. But at the same time, it's like, the people who are genuine, who are inspired by you in a positive way, will have no problem telling you, girl, you inspired me. You made me change. You made me do X, Y, Z. You did this and this and this. And I just feel like sometimes I mean, it depends on your philosophy in life, but some people do it in a way where it's like, they're almost kind of stealing your light in a way. It's kind of like, it's weird. It's like some people call it destiny swapping, because they see your light, they see your power, they see your influence, and kind of just like the magic that you innately have. And of course, like it's only natural, I guess, for some people to want a piece of that. They're like, girl, like, dang, she's making money, she's got this influence, she's got this power, like I want a piece of that. But the problem is when people act like it's their own stuff, but it's actually not. You know what I mean? So, you know, I think it's like, don't ever stop sharing your magic. Don't ever stop being creative. Don't ever stop doing what you're doing. Of course, there's going to be people who are inspired by you. That's amazing. I love that. But there's also going to be people that straight up copy you. And I've had this experience so many times. I remember when I first made natal charts, in 2016 or something, like a long time ago, which obviously anybody can make a natal chart, I get it. But like literally, I made my natal chart art, like because I saw my chart and I was like, oh my God, that'd be so cool to make a natal chart art. And I did that, and I started selling the charts. And then of course, this random girl, people kept sending me her page, and it was literally the same exact type of art, same shape of canvas, same chart. I don't know if you know about astrology, but there's like various different types of charts, and it was the exact one that I was using, like the same setup, like it was crazy. And obviously, like other people are like, no, she just did that on her own. People know the truth, like, you know, in your heart of hearts, like what's true and what's not. And it's just like, how hard is it to just give people their flowers? You know, like if somebody inspires you, tell them. That will make the difference, all the difference in the world, because you know they're gonna notice, or somebody else will notice. And it's like, people will, like, the people who are copying will feel kind of weird, the people who are getting copied will feel kind of weird, and the people who notice that you're copying will also feel weird. So it's just like all this weirdness. And I think all that could be just avoided if you just swallow your pride and be like, girl, you inspire me. You inspired me so much. I know in the beginning of my artistic journey, I said multiple times the artist that inspired me to like actually go for it and like start trying to sell my own art, and that was Charmaine Olivia. And I don't know if she's really on social media anymore, but her art's freaking amazing. And she really opened my eyes to be like, dang, like I could make a career out of this. And so I, you know, I do. Like I've literally, I don't know if I should show you guys this. No, I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't go there. But I've taught art classes. I've taught art courses. I've gone to retreats and taught art, and I'm 100% self-taught. And I'm really proud of that. But it's like you have to really have a strong sense of self to realize you're going to put your art out there, you're going to put yourself out there, people are going to copy you. And there's not shit you can do about it except for just swallow, nod your head, and keep going. But I think the most important thing is, if you are being copied, to just realize that you have a literal infinite well of creativity, and you're not the person waiting for the next person to make a move. Like you are already tapped into this infinite creative source of creativity, and you could create endless amounts of everything you ever wanted, while some people have to wait for you to make that move so they can observe it and imitate it. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's just when people act like you're not inspiring them, or they don't have the courage to like tell you, but yet you get on there and you see they're like copying you, you know? Some people say it's a form of destiny swapping, which is very interesting. I don't know enough about that to like really talk about that. But I just feel like there's so much power in just being honest. Like, I know we all want to be nice and like, you know, accepting and like not egotistical, but can we also be real? Can we also just be honest about our feelings and be like, girl, I see what you're doing. I see it. Like, I will cheer for you. Of course, I want you to be successful too. But it's like not when you're pretending that like you got all these ideas on your own. Like they're your ideas. Like how it's not connecting for me, you know? But yeah, so like obviously people are gonna copy you, and people say there's no original idea in the world. Sure. I mean, I get that. But when you're being copied, you know you're being copied. Like, and that's what's so irritating about it, is like people will make you the villain. They'll make you the bad guy for like sticking up for yourself and being like, that's interesting. And they'll just like try to stomp you down and be like, girl, you ain't all that, blah, blah, blah. But like, actually I am all that. And that's the thing. Like that's, it's so interesting, y'all. Because it's happened so many times and you'd think I'd be used to it now. But it's just the fact that they watch you and they're silent. I don't know. Something about it just rubs me the wrong way. And if you would ask me this 7 years ago, I'd be like, oh my god, it's so easy. Like, whatever, just let them be. And sure, that's fine too. Of course, let them be. Let them do whatever they want. It's their life. Like, maybe just stop focusing on it, right? But I think it's also, we need to be honest with ourselves and just stop trying to be so nice and like people please everybody. Like, no, this is how I really feel. And honestly, get your own personality at this point. I mean, whatever. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.